Hi, I'm Katrina, a K-9 Officer with the New York City Police Department, and I'm here with my K-9 partner, Freddy.
Hi guys! What is a K-9 police officer?
Primary goal is to patrol around the city. There's actually a couple different types of canines that we work with. We have explosive dogs, like my buddy over here. So we go to anything bomb related. We also have dogs who detect drugs. We have bloodhounds, and they search for missing people. We have dogs that work with FEMA. They are called like live find dogs. So Fred is trained that if somebody's walking with maybe an explosive in a backpack, and he can even find guns as well, or something like that on their person, if they're walking with it, that odor will come off them, like I said, like a wake. It'll drift behind them, and if Fred crosses in that path, he'll find it. And it's kind of funny because it's like coming out like a triangle behind you, and he'll go back and forth, and he'll hit each of the edges of the triangle until he gets to the very tip, which is the person who's carrying the explosive. There's always, he's my guy. I love him like crazy. So I am always a little nervous, but it's our job. It's what we're trained to do, and I have to be confident in him and myself.
What inspired you to be a police officer?
My father was a police officer. He was actually a lieutenant, and he worked for the New York City Police Department. He was killed in the line of duty when I was 9 years old, and I always knew that he was a cop. I remember seeing him in uniform, and I remember that he worked real weird hours sometimes, so I'd see him during the day and my mom at night. They worked weird schedules. I knew he was a police officer, but I didn't really know what that meant. And then after he died, I actually got to know a lot of police officers. People who he had worked with, people who were very close to him. And it meant a lot to me that they were there for me because, they knew that he couldn't be. And that's how I got to know what exactly it means to be a police officer. At the heart of it, it's really an act of service. You have to have this urge inside of you to help people, and I just really like that. I liked the idea of being able to help someone. I wanted to do it since I was 9, but I felt a little bad going for it because of what my family had been through with the loss of my father. I knew what that felt like, and I didn't want to do that to them in case something had happened to me.
How did you train to become a police officer?
Well, I went to college. I tried for environmental studies because I'm big on the environment and conservation and everything like that. It was okay, but I just didn't see myself being as passionate of that topic as I should have been. I tried to become into archaeology because I love history. That was good too, but it just wasn't doing it for me. In the meantime, when I first, maybe 2 years into college, I took the police exam. And one thing they always tell you, if you take the exam, be prepared to wait. So it was always in the back of my mind that I had taken this exam, and I was just waiting for them to get to my test and list number. And if they called me, I was going to jump on it. And luckily enough, in January 2013, I got the phone call. So that's how I got into being a police officer. To get in, you have to do something called the JST, which is it's like a little obstacle course that you have to complete. You have to do a 1.5-mile run. When I went in, I believe it was 14 minutes and 20 seconds. And you have to get over like a 6-foot tall wall, something I had never done before in my life. So that was fun. These are things that were really challenging to me at first, but they were very stressful. I had a lot of anxiety about passing these tests. I was able to graduate as the top 10% of my class, like academic-wise, so I was pretty proud of myself. It's different for everyone. They teach you different techniques. I was taught to basically hop up, hang from the wall, and then use my feet to crawl up the wall and then swing my leg over. But that was challenging for me at first. I can do that now, no problem. At the time that was challenging, they looked at me and they said, well, you're tall enough. I think you could just put one foot up, swing the other leg over, and get yourself over. There's a little bit of a technique to it, but I mean, once you get it, you can do it anytime. I remember because I was worried about physical training, I would always stay late. They had tutoring afterwards, where you could practice as much as you want. I would stay all the time because I was just nervous about, my physical training, and I wanted to make sure I was on point. And there was somebody who was having trouble getting over that wall. And remember, that wall was such a problem for me. And the trainer at the time, he's like, "Oh, Narvaez, go show her how to do it." And I just flew right over it. And I was like, "You got to be kidding me. I spent so much time trying to get this, and now it's super easy."
What extra steps did you have to take to be a K-9 police officer?
As far as the emergency service unit K-9, so you have to fill out an application like you would for any job. Officers, we first go through an agility test. So our agility test, one of the things that we have to do is we have to carry a 60-pound sandbag, and we have to carry that sandbag a certain amount of feet, and we have to carry it over a divider and to a car. And that's simulating if Fred gets hurt one day and I have to pick him up, I have to show them I can do this. You know, don't worry about it. I'll have Fred. I'll be able to pick him up and take him to the car without needing assistance from anybody. I had to go over another wall. I had to hold 25 pounds out straight in front of me, and that's simulating you like holding the dog back. It's showing that you can do these particular tasks to represent if something happens in real life, you're able to do it and they don't have to really worry about you. I have a first aid kit that I take with me, and because my training in Alabama, they made a point to tell us a little bit about how to put a tourniquet on a dog and check out certain things, make sure they're okay.
Can you show us the training room?
Scent detection room. We have lockers that we fill with scents. These things right here, because we try and teach our dogs about distractions. So they make a lot of noise. We'll hide something behind there, and the dog will learn, even though this is making noise, even though this is in my way, I have to get through it, and I have to get to whatever is hidden there because I want to play. I want to have a good time. These are called Dutch boxes. And I'll show you this. This little guy right here has the scent in there. And the dog will we'll start training them by putting the scent in one of these boxes. We have a bunch of boxes that are the same as this guy, and these are the older boxes right here. We'll put the scent in there, and we'll put it next to other boxes that are similar. And the way the dog is taught is when he gets here, at first, he's not really looking for anything. He doesn't understand. But once he gets here, a ball will drop out from this part here, and it'll go down, and he'll get to play with the ball. And then slowly but surely, he starts to learn that, let's say these three boxes looked alike. He could go to here, he doesn't get a ball. He could go to here, he doesn't get a ball. But when he goes here, it's playtime. Okay, you ready, buddy? Ready? Watch. Once I let him go, he'll go pretty fast. Okay, ready? Hold on. Good. Ready? Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Go get it! Go get it! Yay! A lot of stuff for him to look at in here. He's looking for one in particular. I did put it up high. There he is. There it is. It was hidden behind all this stuff.
That's how you know. He just sits down.
Woo! Get it! Oh, I can take a board!
Can you give us some final thoughts?
Find something that you're passionate about. It'll make your life a lot better. This guy is what I'm passionate about, and helping people. So even before I became a K-9 officer, I was happy to do my job. There were a lot of times when maybe I got hurt, and I could have let that get me down and stop me. But if I had to go to doctor's appointments, I went to doctor's appointments. I went to physical therapy. I did everything that under the sun that I could to reach my goals. So I guess that would be my big takeaway. Just don't let anything stop you.
Thank you.
Thank you.